That works for
Here we go. Theme song.
Cool Breeze Brendan.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from tbriz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the Adult Baby Show podcast. You can find us on YouTube and you can find us on podcast stuff. I am tbriz.
I'm B.
And I'm Chic.
This is the Adult Baby Show, and this is our theme song playing right before the show.
Yep.
I was
Yeah,
asking
baby.
these guys if this theme song was too much, because I second guess the things we do sometimes. You know what I was thinking about this week, actually, real quick?
Yeah.
Before we get into B's story, is I'm looking at the show and I'm like, are we gonna have to rechange everything? Are we gonna have to get rid? Are we gonna have to change the name? Are we gonna have
This
to get
is
rid of this
such a
adult
you
baby?
thing.
That
Yeah.
is a me thing. I
That's
get like
such a
this.
you thing.
Remember when I used to be in a band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times it was like once a year we changed the name, we changed the type of music we played.
Yeah.
We went from a ska band to a grunge band
Oh,
to
I
a
remember all those
a rap
names.
rock band to an emo band to
That's
a fucking
right.
punk band, and it was like every year. I don't know how those guys
You
dealt
had the
with me.
one band for a
I
while.
don't-
DoubleheadeR lasted a few years. That was your longest band name, I would say, right?
Yeah, once we finally
Where'd that
got
name
up to
come from? I mean, I love the band. I don't know the name. Where did it come from?
right? We talked
Yeah.
about this on the last episode.
Did we?
Actually, we talked about the studio that we used to
Yeah, I
practice in.
remember.
It's
Yeah.
a real quick recap on that. Is we had a rehearsal room. It was underneath a bar called Medicine. The bar was kind of a bar for debauchery. There were S&M parties up there. There was all sorts of drugs and sex going on. And one time we came down. Our room was underneath that bar, and we came down into our rehearsal room. And we were playing an open mic there. We didn't have a name yet, and somebody picked up. I guess people were going into our room because our lock was broken and having like orgies in there or something. Like no joke. There were condom wrappers. There were like druggy bags, little drug bags all over. We'd come into practice and we'd see this shit all over. And there was a box for a double-headed dildo.
Are you serious?
That's how the name really started?
Yeah, and we were like, what should we be? What should our name be? And we were like, for tonight, just so for the open mic, our drummer, Alex, at the time, picked up the thing, and he goes, the name of it was called DoubleheadeR, the dildo. It was a double-headed dildo. He goes, so we were like, we don't know, we'll just put something else, whatever. So we get up there, and the guy, we didn't even pick a name. We get upstairs to play the open mic, and they go, all right, up next is DoubleheadeR. And I swear, I didn't know that was our name. Alex looks at us and he goes, let's go, guys.
That's hilarious.
I go, what do you mean? When he signed us up, he put that down as the name. Just 'cause
Doubleheader.
Oh, that's
the
such a
dildo
great,
box he
that's a
found.
great story.
That's such a great story. I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that either. That's so funny.
And we planned on picking a different name at some point, but
It just stopped.
never-
we didn't. We never had it. I don't know. For anybody out there that's in a band or anybody that's had experience with this, you might already know this. But when it comes to picking a bad name, you can sit around for a half hour tossing out different names, putting different combinations of words together. Eagle Hawk, Steel Stallion,
Yeah.
like fucking Gutter Bus.
Gutter
Like,
Bus.
seriously, you just spit out names and nobody. It's so hard to
To
pick
get
one.
everybody to agree, too,
And you
I'm
pick
sure.
one, and when usually the name just comes to you.
Yeah.
Like you'll be
Right.
like, oh, there it is.
That's it. Yep.
Uh-huh.
With us, it never happened. We
I
just
feel like
stuck
it did
with
happen.
DoubleheadeR.
You just don't realize how it happened.
That was our moment.
That
That's-
was your moment.
That
And
is
that's how it
a
happened.
really good story about that.
And that's a natural way for a name to happen. I think that's exactly what you were describing. You didn't think happened, and it happened.
It's weird because it's become this theme of projects I'm involved in. DoubleheadeR kind of has a significance in the baseball world. So if you
Yeah.
looked up
Oh,
doubleheader online, you'd get baseball results. You'd
Yeah.
get these. There's actually trains called doubleheaders, I think, and it was
There's
like
a lot of things with doubleheaders, I
yeah.
guess.
When you think doubleheader, you think baseball usually. You
Yeah.
don't think some band. So now we're on this show. We're doing Adult Babies podcast, and if you look up Adult Babies, you get all these freaking.
You got men in diapers.
You get men in
and
diapers,
creepy
adult
older
baby
people.
diaper lovers,
Yeah, it's so
and then
weird.
us. But we're detached from that. That's not us.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not them.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not the sci-fi. Not that there's anything
Not
wrong
that
with
there's
that.
anything wrong with it, but we don't dress up in diapers.
No,
No.
we are normal adults.
Not that
kind
there's
of.
anything wrong with
Well.
that. If that's your thing, go ahead.
We're
Go
immature
ahead and
adults.
do that.
That's all we are.
So that's my little story. B has a story for us. I
It's
think.
so true though what you doing that with the show.
With what? Oh, because of
just-
the thinking the name and the name
he's
of the chain.
constantly always wanting, should we do this? Should we do that? I'm like, dude, just trust it. It's good. Let's go. We'll find out if it really is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way my brain works. It works overtime on shit that it shouldn't.
But that's why you're
works
able to
for
do
you and
half
against
the-
you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
you're able to do a lot of things with that big old
Yeah,
brain.
it helps you.
Again, I don't know how you guys deal with me, but
I mean,
I
I
guess
don't know
if
how you deal
I
with
don't know
me,
how you
so
do-
I guess it's a give and take relationship.
I'm pretty good.
You're not around. B's the quiet one. Me and Taylor are the ones who are really like always talking about it, and B just kind of pops in. Yeah, I got it. I liked it.
yeah.
Well, listen. We were talking about this on the way here. Taylor, you're the tbriz. You're the brains. You're the
Aggressive, I guess, one. I mean,
I don't know. And I just sort of show
big
up.
mouth of the group.
I just show up and tell you my sob stories of
Your
Of having
social
panic attacks.
awkwardness.
I love it. You know, I've recently started changing our description of us because originally, when I have to sign up to all these sites to put our podcast on, they ask you for a description of the show. So I said, 3 men in their 30s that talk about things you might have talked about in your 20s and teens.
Yeah.
Basically, given that thing is like we're basically going to be immature and talk about stuff that's ridiculous.
yeah.
So I expanded on that to include us a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed.
didn't.
Yeah, I read it.
Chick read
That's
it.
me. That's me just coming here on Saturdays and
Yeah, exactly. I always, every time Taylor does something, I go right away and check it, or sometimes I even notice it before because I'm constantly.
But you
looking
overcheck.
at it.
You
I
overcheck
overcheck
stuff.
things. Taylor does them, and I just check everything because I like to. I've never really done anything creatively before.
So my
you're not doing anything creatively right now either. So
well, that's kind of part of the description almost. I wrote, so it's a 3 minute 30s, talk about things that you may have talked about in your 20s and teens. I said a comedian, a musician, and an average guy from Long Island.
I actually
Because I
did.
started to think-
Livin.
Well, that's what I wrote
I
originally,
did.
I know,
but
I
I'm
remember
kicking
that.
it. But I actually was flirting with the idea of putting an average, but putting the word below in parentheses before average, below average
I
guy
think
from
that'd be
Long
good.
Island. But I didn't want to offend Chick.
No, you wouldn't have offended me. That would
We
have made me laugh.
you get offended every text.
I get offended.
Every
but-
text
But
and-
here's
and-
the thing: I get offended, and then I get over it.
Yeah,
kind
that's
of.
good.
Right, but
I'm still
that's-
here.
But see, that's where I am.
Sensitive
so
chick.
I'm doing stuff like this
Sensitive.
where I'm trying to mold the show and the brand, and I'm doing little things like that, and then my head goes, should we just change the whole fucking thing?
Yeah.
Should we just change everything? I changed the description. I like it, but
Next week we're gonna have a whole new
This-
name, theme song,
Just
everything.
keep showing up and doing it. That's it. That's it.
I know.
That's what me and B are here for. I feel like also is to tell him to be like, listen, bro, let's just do it and see what happens. Kind of, you don't have to change everything all the
I
time.
want to
mean,
change the logo, the picture,
Like,
the
think-
colors, the description, the
I've actually
theme
thought
song.
about the color.
You don't like the color?
No, I do like it, but you know, when you like, I get what he's saying. When you see it almost for a while, sometimes you're just like, switch it up.
But that's what it's got to be. It's
I
a brand.
agree with you. I agree with you.
You know?
So we've invested a lot into this kind of as a brand, so we got to go with it. But anyway, I think that's enough about that.
Yeah.
That's enough
I
behind the
think
scenes.
that's enough of the behind the scenes
Yeah.
chat. I think we've kind of talked about it. So let's get on to
So
B. B's got a story for us.
I once again found myself in a state of panic. Last Friday, first of all, Memorial Day weekend, I'm supposed to go out to Fire Island for the weekend with my niece, my sister and brother-in-law, my parents. My plan was, all right, I'm gonna get out of work Friday a little early. I'm gonna head to Fire Island before everybody, beat the traffic. I don't want to deal with people and the 100 people on the ferry and all that. Turns out I can't do it because my dog has to go out at 11 o'clock at night. My mom doesn't want the dog to sleep alone. So she didn't have somebody to watch the dog, so I had to stay there. So
When you say sleep alone, do you mean literally in like a room?
the dog
or
has to
in the
sleep in my
house?
bed.
Okay, fair
So-
enough.
Or in my room.
Your whole family's going to Fire Island? It's
Yeah,
a family thing?
Yeah, but we had
But then your mom's
Okay.
like, no, you can't go because of the dog. So the whole family gets to go except for B.
No. I just since I switched up, we didn't have like a dog sitter Friday night. So Friday night where I was like, all right, now I just kind of want to go off by myself. Now I couldn't because I have to stay with the dog.
Oh, you
Satur-
brought the dog.
No. I'm not explaining this well, or you guys aren't good listeners.
Yeah, one of the two.
It
Probably
doesn't,
a mixture of both.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, Friday night, my plan was to go to Fire Island. Got ruined. So instead, I'm going to go Saturday morning to Fire Island. So anyway, I had a spot set up to do comedy. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. And then,
what does that mean, a spot set up to do comedy?
It means I'm going to go to a dingy basement and tell 5 minutes of my worst material. And
also another question is, by worst material, do you mean your best material?
No.
He just means all his new material.
It's new stuff, so it's not there yet.
So
but
it's kind of like a piece of putty that you're kind of molding and you're like sculpting. So is it possible this worst material becomes your best material at some point?
Yeah.
Oh,
it all starts.
Right now, it's just your worst material.
Yeah, it all starts with like an idea. You put it out there.
And then you fix it, right?
You listen to it back. You reword some stuff, and it takes me a long time. Like I see other comics, and they're able to like, come up with a new set every couple of weeks, and I just don't work that way. So I do a lot of like repeating stuff, adding a word here, taking a word out. So it's all that. So like right now, I'm like in the beginning of a new chunk. I'd say of like 5 or 6 minutes, but it takes a while for me. It takes like 3 months. 4 months maybe.
Just got to figure out your wordsman.
Yeah. It's the same as anything. Like it's like this. It just takes time.
Yeah.
Few different.
See what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
I got you.
So that was my plan Friday night, and then my buddy says, "Hey, I have tickets to a Yankee game." So I was like, it was beautiful Friday. I was like, all right. I cancel my spot. And I decide to, which is also not a thing that you should do, but I decide to go to the Yankee game. So,
why shouldn't you cancel your spot?
Because
who are you pissing off when you do that? Is the establishment? Are you getting?
No, it's like the company that runs that particular open mic.
Are they a booking thing?
Sort of. You have to save your spot in advance, so like they don't want you to cancel. But who gives?
I got you. It's just like anything else, I guess. You make a reservation, they want you to like a doctor's office. They want you to give notice or give.
They want you
notice.
at least put a send an email, like you know.
It's like my therapist used to charge me if I canceled.
Yeah.
Day of, you had to give 24 hours notice, because they couldn't rebook the spot.
That seems fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, if you I don't know. You notice how I start a lot of sentences and I can't finish them? Have you guys noticed that about me?
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, you just seem awkward when you're telling stories.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, I mean, like, you seem nervous always.
I'm not nervous.
I know you're not.
I talk
like, you talk
all the time.
Like with I don't know, like you said, it's like you want to say something and then you don't. It's like you second guessing what you're going to say in your head as you're talking.
Yeah, don't analyze me.
Yeah. This kid, he just got done telling us about the therapist he goes to, and now he's trying to be your therapist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to pass on the word.
Please don't.
Do me a favor really quick. Grab that table. Sorry for interrupting the podcast.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, "What is this?" Grab that table and move it so the webcam is kind of angled the way you're facing. Hold on, let me do it. Keep talking. Tell your story.
All right, so I decide I'm going to go to this Yankee game. It'll be great. Weather's great. I'm going to meet my friends there. Haven't seen them in a while, so I'm like, this will be fantastic. Is that good? Okay. Sorry. So
we'll edit that out.
Talk about interruptions. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I I can't.
Help it.
I'm
not good at that.
There's a rotating camera around my head. So I decide to go to the Yankee game. I get on the subway. I'm going to meet them there. I get in the subway. I get 2 stops in, and I am like, I can't be in this subway right now.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling panic. I'm feeling rage. I'm feeling heat.
Rage.
Why?
I have...
Where did the panic? Where did it come from? You're
being in the subway.
Did I miss something? Like all of a sudden you're just in the subway and you're panicking?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people on it.
Right.
It was hot. I got into a subway that was hot, and I was headed uptown. I'm only comfortable with going downtown because that's where I go all. That came out weird. but all my sets and stuff that I do are like in the village, so I go like I know that part of the city. Going up, I don't feel comfortable. So
if you were going downtown, you may not have been panicking, or that just
maybe
panic
not.
level
And there's
was
less
low.
people.
B doesn't panic when he's going down, but he does not like coming back up.
Yeah. so I go 2 stops, and in my head I'm like, the second we get or whatever the next stop is, I'm getting out. So I had to get out, and now it's 100 degrees. There's people everywhere. You know, Midtown Manhattan. I had to duck into a Rosie O'Grady's to have a Guinness just to calm my fucking nerves.
A Rosie O'Grady.
Yeah. So now I'm like, what do I do? Do I just take an Uber there? Do I? There's so many things going through my head. So now I'm late. I'm like, listen, guys, I'm gonna be a little late. I had an issue. I compose myself. I call an Uber. They're like, all right, we're gonna leave the ticket at will call for you now. So now they're already in the game. It's like the 2nd inning, and I'm still trying to get up there. And I'm sweating. I'm like, this is just, I can't do this. I don't know why.
I respect that you're still going, like trying to get there.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna give up.
I
You're
like
too
that.
far now.
Yeah,
You gotta keep
But still,
going.
when you
Push
have
through.
anxiety, it's easy to turn around. Just from my own experience, it's easy to stop,
Yeah.
turn around, and go home because you will instantly feel better once you're starting to
Exactly.
get away from what you're doing.
You're
But
100%
also,
right.
won't you feel better once you just finally get to the game too?
That's
Yes,
what I
but
thought.
that's the whole. When you're in the mix of it, you don't. I mean, like you don't feel like you don't ever see that light at the end of the tunnel when you're in the mix of it.
I gotcha. I
So-
know that thought of all right, I could just give up now. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Give
in
up
your
and
head,
turn
you know, this is just going to be a nightmare. So I thought once I get to the game, I'd feel better, but I was sadly mistaken. I get to the game, I go to will call. It's real easy. I look at the seats. The seats are the top of the stadium. I had to climb Mount Kilimanjaro now to get to the seats. So I get up and I'm like, I want to get like,
Can't even breathe at this
dude,
point.
I'm like hyperventilating, and I'm going up these ramps, these big ramps. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I finally get to the top, and it's the 400, like the back of the stadium. That's
Yeah.
where we're sitting, and I have like one last steps, you know, all the steps. So I'm like in the lobby down there. I'm like, I'm gonna get a beer. They're gonna come down and get me. My friends have to get me. So they come down and get me, and now we go up, and
Did
now
they know what was going
Of
on
course.
with you at this point? Like
They
you told
know-
them. No, but
they-
I'm saying, did
yeah.
you tell them like, listen, I need you to? Okay.
My
all right.
one friend actually went out of his way to say, go to Grand Central and do something over there because it's easier than the subway. Because I've had breakdowns in the subways.
Yeah. All right. I got you.
When it's hot and there's too many
No,
people,
believe me,
I
I
just
hear
feel
it, man.
trapped. I just feel trapped.
I get it.
Are you claustrophobic?
I am now. Yeah, I used to not be, but yeah, that's
Say add that to the mix.
Yeah.
See,
if you're
because I always don't
claustrophobic.
know if it's always that. When that used to happen with me, I don't know if I would say it was claustrophobia as much as like, because I could be in a closet and feel fine, but you put me in a plane when there's actually a lot of people and you feel like you can't get out. I think it's the feeling of maybe I can't get out of here.
yeah. I have a lot of that. Like that's why I think I was telling you guys I have a lot of weird panic attacks when I'm driving at red lights because I'm like trapped. I can't move.
Because you can't move. Something's telling you.
It's such a
you can't
weird
go.
thing. It's very weird. Your mind just plays weird tricks
I
on you.
feel like we can really talk a lot about that and
Oh,
dig
yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
When you did the red light.
Red lights.
Just a
It's
man
like-
You want to
telling
hear? You want to hear
can't
some?
go.
You want to hear some weird panic attack stuff that I have?
We could both go back and forth with these stories.
Jeez.
Red lights, and then I'd wake. I would have these. This doesn't happen so much anymore, but I would go to sleep and I'd wake up like choking,
I hear you. That's
and I'd
happened
be
to me.
thinking I was choking on marbles.
B, me and you have a lot more in common than I think.
Oh, great.
I have had a lot of these because you know me with my anxiety for years. Where I don't know if the crowd doesn't know the crowd.
The
If our
crowd?
listeners
Yeah.
don't know. It was a couple years where I was pretty much agoraphobic, and I. Had
What is
lot of these.
agoraphobic act? That's somebody that
It's
doesn't
when
want.
you really don't want to leave your home, and your home doesn't necessarily mean your house per se. It could be your house in the worst cases, but you just don't leave your comfort zone.
Oh,
Have you ever seen the movie What About Bob?
Oh, it's the best movie
yeah.
ever.
I saw that a while ago. That-
Don't. What does this shirt say? My
Is that- that's
Don't
a-
hassle
don't
me, I'm
hassle me, I'm
local.
local.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah.
Bill
Oh,
Murray's
it's the
in that,
best.
and his character is an agoraphobe. And in the beginning,
Exactly.
You see him afraid to leave his apartment.
steps.
Always thinking he's going to have some sort of disease that kills him. Afraid to touch things.
Yep.
I think, actually, his character has a range of all these
he's
different
a
things.
real-
But
he's
I
a
think,
nut job.
I think agoraphobia is, doesn't Dr. Leo Marvin, like, he takes a note and he's like, extreme agoraphobia.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he, like, says a bunch of, he
Got a good
diagnoses
Richard
him.
Dreyfuss voice.
Do I?
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm Richard Dreyfuss. I'm Richard Dreyfuss.
You guys remember Mr. Holland's Opus?
You beat me, Mr. Holland's Opus.
But he's got the beautiful, 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 beautiful call. That's a deep cut for all my Mr. Holland's Opus fans out there. Deep. Richard Dreyfuss. But yeah, no, the panic attacks are they're not as much as they used to be. But last Friday it said I got set off, and I finally got out. Oh, and this is the other thing. Wrapping it up, I got to the very top. The seats are in the middle, like, so I have to climb
no aisles
over
or anything.
Yeah, and then I stepped on some lady's nachos. Yeah, I think she
would
was.
have fucking killed you.
No, I think she was. I think she was done with them.
You think?
I think. Well, she was done.
You think? Yeah, she was done with those nachos because
What-
all the fucking bottom of your shoe shit.
But
that
it
was
made-
on there.
Even if she wasn't, she's done with them now.
done with them now.
It made such a sound. No, because they were almost empty, but it was like a plastic
Oh, yeah, I know,
container.
yeah, dude.
So it made like this huge crackling sound. So like, not only am I stepping over people, now they're like, "Oh my God, what is that?" I'm like, "Sorry." And my friends
This
are
is the
apologizing
worst
for me.
Friday night ever.
Did you ask or try to buy her new nachos?
No,
or you just pretended like
I
you
was
didn't-
moving.
I was on a mission just to get to that seat, and then I
Oh,
was
this is going into the seat, not even leaving.
no, this is going in, yeah. And then I made a decision. I was like, I just won't be a baseball fan anymore. I'm not ever coming back to Yankee Stadium. There's
Cheer
too
for the
many
Mets.
people. No, there's too many people. Ugh.
Wow.
Anybody
This
else
guy's
have
bad.
something they want to talk about? Because I'm getting anxiety just thinking about
That is.
It's so
you know what?
dumb.
You know what's funny when you said you like, well, think about stories? I have so many anxiety stories. I mean, we could do a whole episode on this. I don't know if you really want me to get going because I won't stop.
We
but-
could. Actually, this story kind of leads into another story because you were telling us before the show you have anxiety about something that's
Oh,
happening
yeah.
with you right
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
Why don't we?
Part-
This
That's
is
right.
how. This is why I write down. I have a pad right next to me while we do the show. And Chic made a joke on an earlier episode. He thought I was like, Taylor's make me nervous, so he's always writing. Right, what's he writing down about me over there? I'm like, I'm actually writing down stuff we're talking about and ideas that it gives me. And where's I going with this? I don't know. Oh, I wrote down that Chic's anxiety because I know you're
He knows
anyway,
a lot
tell-
about me.
Yeah, what's
I don't
going
know.
on with you?
Basically, all right, so we all know I got a tattoo. You remember we were telling you guys in a couple episodes previous
Right,
to it.
show the tattoo again for anybody watching on YouTube. You can see it.
Mike.
Actually, show the part specifically that you're talking about that you're going to tell
You
this
see
story
this
about.
red,
Yeah, it's right under your
Yeah.
character.
Just you are
It's
really,
on top.
you are
Move
really
the
bad.
character.
Look,
There
No,
it
you
dude.
got to move your arm.
Jesus.
There it is.
There's oh god.
There it is.
Sorry for the podcast listeners,
There it
but if
is.
you could
There
see.
it is. There's my
All right,
cancer.
that's enough. That's disgusting.
So
that
basically,
looks disgusting.
that's
Ugh.
gross.
You're
Come
gonna
on.
die. Are you dying?
6
Don't
months.
scare me, bro. I'll fucking leave the show and go to urgent care middle of the episode.
So for the podcast listeners, he just put his arm up to the webcam, and he's got this new tattoo. It's Knicks, Giants, Mets logos.
Yes.
And then at the top of it, what is that spot called? You know where they stick the
I was
needle
just
in when
gonna
you're
say,
donating
your
blood?
Yeah.
inner- It's like where your arm
Where your
creases
arm
when you
bends.
make a
Your arm
muscle.
crease.
He's
Right
got
on the other side of your elbow.
So the tattoo extends over that part of your arm where the veins kind of show where they put
Yeah.
the needles in, and it's turned all red, and it looks irritated. It looks infected.
But to my thing is, I don't know if this thing is from the tattoo, to be honest with you. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. Basically,
it kind of is. This
It's got to be, right?
yeah, I guess
it's
I mean,
right on the.
maybe it
It's
is.
on
I
it.
think it's on the tattoo.
It's
Let me
on
see.
it.
Let me.
Feel it.
Yeah,
Touch
I'm
it.
not touching it.
Touch it.
I don't even like sitting next to you with that
touch
thing.
Yeah, what if it's contagious?
It's not contagious. I've had other people touch it.
Who's
Then they
touching
haven't
that?
caught your
I was
disease
asking
yet?
people at work. I was asking everybody at work. I go, just touch it, guys. Look at what's going on with me.
Why do you want people to touch?
Because I want somebody else to touch it and say
Does
like,
it feel weird?
Yeah, tell me like it's not cancer, or it could be. This,
I don't
or
think it's-
somebody's gonna touch
Hold
it and
on.
know what it is.
So you in your head, if somebody's gonna touch your thing, just some random person that you work with, and they're immediately gonna
This
know,
could be
and
anybody.
go ahead, touch it. Tell me if it's cancer. They're gonna touch it and they'll go, oh shit, Chick, bad
Yeah.
news.
Well, no,
Bad-
they could
no,
be like-
no. They're gonna go, oh, Chick, bad news. Yeah, that's cancer. Yeah.
Are your coworkers
come on, guys, let me finish
cancer
my
sniffing
joke, damn it.
dogs?
No, I just meant more like
Right.
if they feel it, you can tell if it's like a cyst or an ingrown hair or a pimple or something. I don't
Just
know.
by touching it, they're gonna magically know this.
I was hoping, bro.
What
I'm
are they,
reaching.
like, fucking,
the whole
like,
thing is I don't
X-Men?
want to go to the
What are
fucking
they-
doctor and find out what it is.
Are they X-Men? Are they mutants? Where
You
they
wanna
have
know
this
the funniest
special
story
ability?
about this?
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah,
Damn it, I have a
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
joke. Yeah, I want to know the funniest story about it. I want to know it after I'm finished talking.
Oh my God! You take information and
Sure.
don't.
We had to talk about this before the
I'm
show
sorry,
about how
I'm
we have to
sorry.
stop interrupting each other. But Chick, you just can't help
I try
yourself.
my best.
It's probably the
so
cancer.
Wait, what is it?
It's
now?
affecting
What
his
were you
memory.
saying?
It doesn't matter what I was saying anymore. I was going to say something about, I don't know, them being, didn't I already say X-Men and mutants?
Yeah, I don't even
See
know.
see what he does to me, Chick.
That's gonna be.
See what he does to me.
That's gonna be
drives
one
me
of the.
crazy.
We're gonna have to rewind that and play that in front of you and show you where you
Where
went
I
wrong.
went wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly
like
what I
John
did.
Madden and Pat Summerall. We're gonna.
with the fucking markers.
Dude, that's what I'm picturing. A big chalkboard with the
Chalkboard.
layout. All right, guys, let's watch today's tape. This is where we went wrong. We got to replan our strategy. Chick, your defense is awful. Your offense is worse.
Now what Chick
We need a new play.
should have done was go right here. But what Chick really did, he went here, and then went backwards 3 steps. I can
so
tell you
great.
from a pale Irish guy who goes to the beach and comes home with a melanoma. That's not a skin cancer.
Okay, good.
It's like a.
That's what I was
that's
hoping to hear.
It's like a bite.
I just wanted to hear positive reinforcement. That's what I wanted somebody to tell me is it's nothing.
No, that's it.
But everybody's telling me, oh, that's gross. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, because I like fucking with you like
I
I do.
know. And everybody knows I'm a fucking nutcase. So, long story bearable. I go to a Mets game.
You
2
say
nights
this
ago.
all the time,
I know,
and
that's
it's
my
never
I like
bearable.
It never is.
I'm just kidding.
It's amazing that you have a catchphrase for when you tell a story, and it's long story bearable. Go.
I love this story
I
actually.
So I go to a Met game 2 nights ago, and me and my buddy happen to be sitting in the Hyundai Club, which is great seats. Thank you to my cousin for hooking us up with the tickets. But we're sitting in the seats, and I hear these guys talking behind us, and they're talking about tumors. And so me and my friend, I look to him, I go, I think these guys are doctors. And they're talking about tumors. I said, I'm going to show them my arm.
You're just showing.
Yeah.
So my friend looks at me and he
You're
goes,
sick.
I heard that, and I already knew you were
Oh
going to
my
show them that
God.
before you even opened your mouth. I said, all right. So then we're sitting there, and I don't even, like, you think you maybe wait throughout the game to kind of talk to them and bring it
Yeah.
up. So I look at them, and I'm like, you guys talking about two? You guys are doctors? And they're like, one of them's like, yeah. I'm like, who do you think that is? And I show them my arm.
Yeah.
The guy looks at it, he goes, oh, yeah, it doesn't look like anything too serious. The other guy goes, you should get some penicillin in that. And then I turn around to my buddy, and I'm like, all right, it's not cancer, I don't think. I think I'm all right.
No, it's not cancer. It just looks like it's infected. In all honesty, I'm not going to touch it, but just by looking at it, it looks like the tip of your tattoo. People get infections.
Yeah,
all the
it might have
time.
been a little
And
infection.
besides, the whole thing looks like you've been picking at it anyway.
Every
Have you
part-
been?
that's-
Every part of the tattoo has
So
like
let me
scales.
explain.
It looks
what
like it's been
happened.
chewed
This
on.
Is this tattoo.
Oh, I love when chicks just go. Let me
Let me
explain.
explain what
All right,
happened.
here's the
I have a
genius
bunch
story.
of
That
tattoos. I never had any issues with any of them. This one, I didn't want to use A&D ointment on it. I heard it's not the best thing to use on it. It's what I used on all my other tattoos. It's
why
like an ointment.
is it not the
Because I heard
best
it's
thing?
like it's a little too strong. It supposedly takes some color out of it. Like it's just not. You're not supposed to overdo it. It's
Now
just-
here, who did
there's
you hear
better
this
things.
from? Did you hear this from the person who gave you the tattoo?
Yes.
You hear from that doctor at the Met game?
My
Cespedes is a bum. Don't use A&D ointment on the tattoo.
It wasn't even like
takes
don't
the color
do
out.
it. It wasn't even like don't use it. It was like there are better options out there. He said, fragrance-free creams and things like that. So, so I had a Lubriderm. It's fragrance-free, dermatologist. Like, there's nothing to it. And I put that on, and then my whole arm broke out.
Go on. I'm just rearranging my microphone.
Oh, yeah, you were looking at me crazily weird. So it was, it just, my whole arm broke out, and then it wound up getting infected like a day or two later. I guess it was from that cream. And then I was scared to put anything on it, so I didn't really put anything on it for a couple days. So it's just taking. It's not messed up. It's just taking a long time to heal.
Long story.
Wow.
Totally unbearable.
That was unbearable. That story could have been told in 3 words.
What?
What
Three
were those
words.
What were
Listen,
those 3 words?
whatever it is.
I am
Long
an
time to
idiot.
heal. Long time
It's just
healing.
taking a lot longer to heal than I, originally.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you.
You know what I'm gonna say about that is, if it is infective, I hope it's not fucking airborne, because we got
Yeah.
we got a fan on in here
It's
today.
blowing right into
Yeah,
the
it's
camera.
It's blowing that whatever those
blowing right into the
residue-
producer's chair.
Yeah, right to the producer's section over here, right into my nostrils. And I can smell that cancer from here.
Don't
Jesus
worry,
Christ.
I might be going right to urgent care after this, just because I
Could you-
need somebody to look at this. I did put.
I'm surprised you didn't go to urgent care before the podcast.
Just don't hit
Why
it
not
hard.
throw
Oh,
another
I thought you
thing?
were gonna poke it
No,
with
no.
the pen.
I'm not touching that thing. So, yeah. So, speaking of, we have a fan in here. I can hear the fan getting picked up in B's mic just a
Sorry.
little bit. So,
You might have to rearrange this.
yeah, move that camera a little bit so
we
it's
should
kind
switch
of.
cameras. Have mine
No,
look at him.
I'll
and
have
his
to
look
set
at
it up
me.
for the next show. So, for people that just listen on podcast, I know I mentioned a lot, but we have webcams up and we do this on YouTube as well. So, we're fiddling with the cameras. We got a fan on because it's hot out today.
So hopefully you guys don't
I-
hear that fan in the background too much.
Yeah, you might hear it. Well, we'll fix it on the next episode because we're
feel
mid-episode
great.
right now. But speaking of that fan, I actually bought that fan this week. I bought 2 fans.
Yeah, Adult Babies now has 2 fans, guys.
2 fans.
Fans.
So I was at work and my fan shit out on me. I have a little desk fan and I need that fan because I have this guy that I work with, and I swear he's from the Philippines, and I've talked about him before.
Oh yeah, this is the scuba diver.
Yeah. So, the scuba diver guy.
Yeah.
Right. So he's from the Philippines. So I don't know if it's something about that having to do with it, but he loves it hot. So
Oh, really?
When I come into work, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's freaking hot in here, man. And I look, and that's when I'll realize, why isn't the AC on? It's been hot here lately. We're on Long Island, New York, and I go to the thing, and he's got the thermostat up to 85. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's the AC
85?
85. He loves it.
That's like hotter than when it should be when it is in the winter.
Right. So I'll turn it back down just to like where it just barely goes on, like 74, 75.
I'm a 69.
Dude, I would do that, but I'm like, okay, this guy wants it 85. I'll compromise a little bit, and I'll just I'll touch it so it goes whatever.
Yeah.
This is when he's not in because the thermostat's directly above his desk. So he comes in after me, so I have to change it before he's there, or change it while he's there and be like, oh, look, let
They
me
let
change
you
it.
play with the
Yeah.
thermostats that like freely.
So I'll tell you a little side story about this guy. We had a Christmas party. And there was drinking involved. And he showed up to the Christmas party in the office. It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon because I don't know why we're having a Christmas party at 12 in the afternoon. People want to drink.
Yeah, it's so weird.
They didn't even let us go home afterwards. Like Christmas
God.
parties from 12 to 3.
Work from 3 to 5.
Right. Everybody gets drunk. They're like, all right, back to work. Like, yeah, right.
What?
Do you think I'm going to be outside smoking cigarettes for the next 2 hours?
Yeah.
They're tying on a nice buzz now. You can't fucking
That's when
make
you
me
want
go back
people
to work.
working on tech softwares when they're shit faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy decides, he shows up, and we're like, I guess I'll say his name. We're like, Jarek, you going to eat? It's Jarek. It's not Eric. It's Jarek with a J
Jarek.
in front. Jarek. I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Jarek
his name,
from
but
the
too late.
sea.
Just his first name. So
We're gonna spell it different. They'll never get it right.
I love this guy. He's hilarious. But so he doesn't want to eat. He's like, no, I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna have drinks. So 12 o'clock in the afternoon, he doesn't want to eat. He starts drinking. My boss makes a joke about, we're gonna find Jarek in the men's room with his pants around his ankles in a few hours. Fast forward a few hours. That's exactly what happened.
Get out of here.
No joke. I noticed he disappeared from his desk after the party, and I went into the bathroom, and he was wandering around the bathroom with his pants around his ankles. There was a puddle of vomit all across the
Oh,
wall,
my God.
all over the toilet. And I'm like, Jarek, what are you doing?
Did he say?
Oh no, he's going, oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm like, dude, you're not okay. Your fucking pants are around your ankles. Somebody, bosses are going to walk in here and find you. I'm like, pull your pants up, dude. Come on.
Get your shit together.
So what were you going to ask?
I said, when you went in there and found him, did he say, I'm so embarrassed, I just want to be under the water?
Is this the same guy?
That's the same guy.
Yes.
So there's a previous episode where I talk about him. The regular listeners might know who we're talking about. But anyway, he what did he do after that? So he's so obviously drunk, and he's at his desk, and he's throwing up into his little garbage pail.
My God.
Like that loud, that loud, gurgly, violent. Like I feel like his esophagus is being fucking eroded as this shit is coming up.
Blood vessels.
An old diver's mask comes out, just throwing up shit.
So my boss comes over, and he says, "Jerk, you gotta go home." And he goes, no, I'm okay. We're like, dude, you are not okay. You were in the bathroom. I had a picture on my cell phone. I'm like,
oh, you took a picture?
Oh, I had to take a picture.
You
when I
do
was
that.
in there and I saw what he did in there, I was like, dude, he destroyed this bathroom. I'm getting a picture of this. We're going to all laugh about it tomorrow. We'll never let him live that down. I mean, this was years ago, and we still talk about it. Guess what? Every Christmas party that comes up, Jarek, you going to drink tonight?
Does he not drink at Christmas parties now?
He definitely is like me.
He reined it
in.
in?
Yeah, he pulled it in a little bit.
Have to.
He had to after that one.
I don't know.
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah. So
Work parties are the best.
So my boss says you got to go home, and we get the HR guy over. He's like, "Listen, it's just a matter of we can't let you stay here because we have to bring you home, and I have to drive him." My boss says, "Taylor, you drive him. I'm gonna follow you guys." So I say, "Okay." I get into his van. I drive him in his van, and he sits in the front seat with me. And the first thing he does, he goes for the thermos. What do you call it? The air conditioner, the heater in the car. He turns on the air in the car, and he pushes his finger. It's digital, and he pushes his finger down until it goes all the way up to like 87 degrees.
What?
He's already sweating. He's profusely sweating from all the vomiting he's been doing. And he gets in the car, he's drunk, and he turns it all the way to 87. And
what time? Oh, this is Christmas.
This is Christmas time. So, yeah, it's cold
but
outside.
Still.
But 87? I'm like, that's his normal. That's what he wants. I
figure
if you're sweating and you're throwing up, like, you might want to cool down. It'll wake you up.
Open a window, get a little air.
To 87. So,
wow.
I drive him home, and actually, I'll just throw these couple details in there. We brought a trash bag with us so he could throw up on the way home because I don't know where it was coming from. He did not stop throwing up. Like usually, I would think you can't throw up more than you have in your system, but he was throwing something up.
He had a lot in the system you don't know about.
But he threw up once in the car, and he totally missed the garbage bag. It got all over his shirt.
Oh God!
So he takes his shirt off. He throws up again. It fucking. He misses it again. It's all over his shirt. He's got 2 layers. That's when I realized he's got the heat on 87 and he's got 3 layers on. Yeah. So I go.
Just unshedding all of his shirts.
I go, Jarek, you got to throw up in the bag this time because you got 1 shirt left and I don't feel like looking at you with the damn shirt off while I'm trying to get home the whole way. I was like, please keep that last fucking layer on, dude. Do me a favor.
Oh my God.
We'll never let him live that down. But anyway, so that's why it's so hot in my office, and I try to compromise because I deal with this guy. Who, even at that moment where you figure somebody would want it to be cold, he wanted it to be so hot. So I got a fan, and I use it all the time to try to compromise.
Yeah.
I know I like it cold. I want it to be cold in the office.
I agree with you. I hate it when I don't want to be sweating at work.
Yeah, so I got a fan. So my fan died. I bought this cool little. You ever see those Vortex fans?
I think I know what you're talking about.
They're kind of like a smaller fan,
small,
but
like,
they really blow.
Ones, like
kind of like that. This is a Honeywell actually, and I think it's a knockoff of a Vortex.
Vornado?
Vornado?
Vornado.
Is that
fans in my car?
Because I spent a lot of money on a big fan. A couple years ago, I was living in an attic, and it was so hot. Like it was 110 degrees up there, no AC, and I had to like buy a top Vornado fan. Nice. Or Vornado, whatever. Is that a Vortex? What the hell do I know?
I don't
Maybe
know.
it was a Vortex.
Doesn't that sound like a one of those like handsome, suave Spanish guy named
Bernardo.
You can't let me do the joke, can you? You gotta
sorry.
fucking. There you go. He's just. It'll never end.
He'll-
He walks up to you, he goes, and my name is Bernardo. See, that's what I was. You knew.
Yeah.
You knew where it was
I knew
going,
where you were
but you
going.
gotta shut the fuck up and let us do our thing.
God.
Jesus Christ, is he the worst B or what?
He's the worst.
worst.
Jesus fucking Christ! Stop
Man.
finishing people's sandwiches.
I hope that skin cancer takes.
I hope that turns out to be skin cancer and fucking dies.
Who would we put in here? Oh, we have to be controversial.
You know where the joke is going, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I have a whole delivery I'm gonna do here. I have a whole thing. Just apologize.
I'm sorry.
All right. All right,
I
we're
was
good.
looking at him and I was like, I want to not say
He can't help
You
himself.
can't help it. He can't help himself.
We're gonna need like a reinforcement tool here. Like, can we
Shock
fucking
me.
like a cow prod or
What
some
is that,
shit?
one of those
Yeah.
necklaces?
Maybe
Fucking
just a
slap him.
scissor that we can cut his mic cord.
No, just give me like a collar, a shock collar.
You know what we could do? You know what? Boom, his mic's muted.
Check.
Chick, you there? Say something. Oops, I accidentally muted me. I forgot I could just mute
Then
it.
he muted
Yeah.
everybody.
Anyway,
that's
so
right.
I got this fucking little fan, and now I put it at my desk, but it's too big to put on my desk, so I put it under my desk, and it blows this awesome fucking updraft, and it's like it cools me down, and I love it. But it's a little thing that is a little embarrassing, but a little bit funny. I think we might all do this. People gotta tear farts sometimes.
Oh, sorry.
People gotta rip
They do.
farts.
Yeah.
So, and I do it at my desk, and I'm usually in this little thing, and I'm like, I don't want to get up every time I got a fart, so I'll slowly lean up and let a little one out at work, and maybe nobody can see me. My cubicle is kind of so I'll wave my arm and I'll blow it back, like to where nobody is. But I realized the other day I ripped one and it was bad.
Yeah.
But this little fan is so good at circulating air around the room that I'm just like, oh god, this thing's just blowing my
It's
farts
right
all
in- it's
around
all
the
over.
room.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, fucking man, the whole office is just
Crop
smelling my
dust in that
farts.
whole
Or maybe,
entire office.
or maybe does it like disperse?
No, it cropped us the whole office.
I was-
Like does the scent sort of, does it stay together, or does it like go out and less?
No,
It just, I think, no, the laws of physics, because I know this. My best friend is a physicist, so he told me.
Yeah. Did you meet him at a
He
Met
said,
game?
listen, I know a physicist, okay? I asked him about this, and yeah, the things get dispersed, but when your farts are as dense as mine
Yeah,
are,
but that-
that even the dispersion is still, it's like tear gas. It's like, think about all that tear gas in one little bottle, and then you can blow out a whole fucking floor of the
Yeah.
building with tear gas.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All
And
right.
that's,
Hey, when
That's
you're
the
right, you're
physics
right.
of catching a fart in a windstorm.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's what this fan is doing, and I feel bad for these guys. I don't know what to do.
No, I'm lucky in my office. They pump the AC in that place. Feels great.
Yeah,
That's good.
And I had something else to say about this, but I totally forgot it. So I guess that's it.
I was looking
I
at
wonder
your
what it
eyes,
was.
looking at the page. I'm like,
Yeah, I should have wrote it down. I was blowing my farts around the room, and then
is it
what else?
Jarrett getting crop dusted all day?
Yeah. Oh, come on, brain. Think.
Yeah. Come
Think.
on. You're killing us.
I know. Hold on. Let's talk about something else. Let me think about it.
Anxiety attacks are cool, huh?
All right, forget it.
Me and B
we'll
trade
move
war
on.
stories about anxiety attacks.
We'll move on to the next thing.
Oh,
because
man.
I guess it wouldn't have been that funny if I completely forgot about it.
I'm sure it would have
But
been.
anyway,
Don't put yourself
if
down.
anybody from work is listening to this, I'm sorry about that.
Do you have people listening from work?
No, I don't tell anybody at work that I'm doing this podcast. Actually, there's one guy I work with. He's the HR guy.
Mm-hmm.
I told him about it, and I actually showed him our video. For anybody who doesn't know who's listening, we actually filmed a little skit video thing.
Yep.
Bathroom tips and tricks. It's a joke. It's just like stupid bathroom tips.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube
Stitcher,
channel.
Right? Is it on Stitcher?
No, it's
or
not Stitcher.
not
Stitcher's
Stitcher?
podcast stuff. It's
Yeah.
just on YouTube.
YouTube.
Go to our
YouTube,
channel
okay.
and look for it. And
What'd you guys think? Did you get any reaction from it? Any feedback?
I got some decent feedback. I mean, some people thought it was funny. Some people just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, it's
I got about what I expected from
right.
it.
It's the first one. It wasn't. It was good. It wasn't great. It
We
was.
had a lot of fun doing it.
But we had a lot of fun, and I think we we maybe learn some lessons for the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Stay tuned.
What do you think, Briz?
Yeah, I think it was good that we did it. We had an idea. We just fucking ran with it. We said, let's do this. We finished it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's what I'm most proud of. Is we went out, we said we were going to do it, we did it, we finished it, and you put it out there, and people.
I watch it, and the funniest parts are B. B is shined in that day.
It's just I'm very creepy. That's all it is.
No, your facial expressions with the thumbs up had me dying.
It was.
I thanks. I worked hard on that thumbs
and the
up.
armpit sweat. Nice.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. By the way, I haven't worn that shirt since because I look awful in it. Like I'm like, ugh. I just don't like the way I look.
Somebody asked me, they go, "What's that shirt that B was wearing in that video?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. A little tight."
I know. Listen. Well, like I said, I'm still on Jenny Craig. I
called it Johnny. Was that you? Called
Johnny
Craig.
Johnny Craig.
Yeah, I'm still on Johnny Craig, and so I'm slowly losing weight.
Good for you.
And,
you look good.
Thanks.
He's losing weight, and I'm getting cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, why are everybody staring at me?
I thought you had
I thought you had something to say.
You know what? I have another story to tell, I guess. But are we nearing the end of this episode? We talked about doing 45 minutes. We've been going for 45.
Yeah, I was going to tell a story, but I could hold off till next.
We'll do the next episode?
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to call this one a wrap.
Wrap it up.
We'll talk about...
Wrap it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, real quickly, let's end the episode with talking about one of our viewers sent us an email.
Oh, yeah.
And we appreciate that. Matt, thank you for the email. Thank you for listening.
Yes, Matt.
And
he loves the show.
He's an avid listener.
I want to say something to Matt. I just started watching that show, I'm Dying Up Here, and it's really good.
Yeah, he was telling us we got to watch it. We'll all check it out, Matt. Thanks for the.
I'm not going to watch it.
You should.
I'll give it a shot.
I don't have any plans to watch it.
Did you guys?
Maybe I don't know.
Did you see where they dropped the adult babies?
Right, and I'm wondering, is that why he recommended the show? Because in the show, what happened, B?
In what?
Well, he's saying in the show, the guy says, "Oh, you're an adult baby" or something. B sent me a clip. I've never seen the show.
Kick the shit out of my buddy. Shut up, you fucking adult baby.
See, but no, I'm breezing through the first episode, first season, and it's like about. I actually read the book. This is based on a book. It's loosely based on this book from like the Comedy Store in Los Angeles in the like early 70s, and it's like people, the drugs and Pryor dropping in and all. It's the book. I forget the name of it now, but look up the book. Was fantastic.
Look up the book that he doesn't know the name of. Everybody.
Well, you can look up.
B is about to give you a lot of research. Look up the show, find out the show, find out the book that it was thing, and then go look up the book. And after that, read the book, watch the show,
let us know,
and then get back to us. All right,
and you're right. And after all that work, if you don't like any of that stuff, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. I tried to give a recommendation, fellas. I guess it went south.
Hey, long story bearable. Thanks for the email, Matt.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate you listening, buddy.
We appreciate everybody that's been listening. We appreciate people.
Yeah, we do have some. We have some people who are listening to every show, and you know what?
Yes,
we love you guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the listeners.
Shout out to the listeners.
Shout out.
Anybody you want to shout out today?
No, I got no shout outs today.
All right, good.
Guys, I'm going to play some piano real quick.
Do it.
Yeah, the Adult Baby Show!
I wish you'd really play.
Yeah, he doesn't want to ever show his musical talents.
I don't know. I could play the guitar in here. I can't play the keyboard because I'm not your typical person who plays a piano who like knows songs.
Yeah.
Like I do stuff like make beats or instrumental tracks, and I'd make riffs. I'll come up with a riff in my head and I'll hear it, and then I'll sit down and learn it on the keyboard, and then I'll play it, then I'll record it, and then I'll layer another thing over it. But I can't actually sit here and play like a fucking song like Billy Joel or some shit. Like
but you can.
You could if you want, if you really sat down and like tried to learn them. I'm sure, right?
Yeah, if I learned it.
Yeah,
well,
if I wanted to, I could.
You're already probably a decent way in with playing the keyboard, right? You're like a beginner, I would say, right?
I think my hands have the capability to do it, but I don't have the drive to sit down and learn a song and play the chords and practice it, learn it like I did with the guitar. Like I can look at a guitar song online and just start playing it based
taught
on the
yourself,
chords. If it's a song I already know.
You
I
taught yourself the guitar?
Yeah, I play by ear. I can't read music.
That's the one most impressive thing when you used to teach me a little bit, just watching this guy.
I actually can do
listen
that
to
with
something
piano.
and just play it.
I
Really?
can,
You can play the piano?
The same as like I could play songs. Like my mom will hear me like just messing around, and if I know a song, I could sort of figure it out on the piano. Really, like.
But so you obviously know how to play the piano.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to read music. I'm saying like by ear, just sort of like pick it up. It's not good, but I can get the basic thing down.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I can
That's
get
still
the
impressive.
Chick, you gotta talk into the mic.
I know,
can't
when
believe
I
we're
turn
still doing
something-
this.
No, I've been pretty
B,
good.
he's
We'll
still
be doing this at episode
He's still
150.
interrupting us. He's still talking to you with the mic all the way over here. What are we
I've
gonna
been
do
good with
you,
the
Chick?
mic. This one was bad today.
You say that every single episode.
Go back
All
and
right.
listen. Go back and
Guys, it's been real.
Yes, it has. Next.
Next.
All right. I think we're done this week.
We
Thanks
love
for
you
listening.
all.
If you made it this far, we really appreciate
Yes.
it. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to our channel, share it if you can. Tell your friends about the show. If you're listening to us at
Tell
work,
your friends.
tell your coworkers, tell your kids, tell your wife, tell your grandma on her deathbed to be like, Grandma, just one thing before you go. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Baby show. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Anyway, guys, it's beautiful out there. Get outside, have a good time, enjoy the barbecues, enjoy
Happy
the summer.
June, everybody.
We love you.
That was the longest outro ever.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.